So the Demons a short price favourite here. It's 15 and 16 on the table. Richmond still looking for their first win. Kane Johnson and Brock McLean, the Melbourne captain for the night.
Big toss. Brock, your call. Heads. Tails it is.
So Kane Johnson, whose teammates celebrated a 10-year reunion last night in Adelaide, having won the 97 flag for the Crows. Let's go down to Ricky. Ricky, how late did they leave it with David Neitz?
Yeah, they made that decision today, Bruce, on that broken finger they had operated on only 9 days ago. They had a pin inserted, but the fracture hadn't healed enough and he was in too much pain to play tonight, so they made that decision late today. But good to see Byron Pickett back in the side. We saw him early in the season, a little bit underdone. He had interrupted pre-season with hamstring problems, but he's had 4 games now in the VFL. He's match fit and ready to go.
And what about Nathan Brown? How do you expect he'll be used?
Yeah, well, he'll start on the ground, and I imagine they'll probably use him in 8 to 10 minute bursts, probably give him a break in between the quarters, do a bit of work on the cars and get him back out there.
Well, there he is. It's been a forlorn season for the Tigers, but something to cheer about tonight alongside this man, Matthew Richardson, against a former teammate, Ben Holland.
A lot of butterflies too for Brown, by all reports. Very nervous about tonight's game.
The umpires tonight, Conlon, James and Rosebery. And they will be throwing it up, Dave. It's very, what would you say, lush?
Yeah, it's like clay in the middle of the ground, a wet clay, and you'll see a lot of slipping over right in the centre circle.
So it's not lush, it's sloppy.
Very sloppy.
And away we go. Friday night football. White was up, missed the football. Hand pass from McDonald over his shoulder. Was that in the back? I think it was. And Delidio will get the free kick.
Full possession. Byron!
Delidio, first kick of the game. Goes down towards half forward. Brown on the lead. Man overcommitted was Bell. Brown tracks it back. This will be a nice start. Pulls it back towards the middle. All Melbourne. And Bizzle takes the mark on his chest. Plays on immediately. Swings it out wide. Sylvia. No one down the ground. Pickett wants it long. That's ignored. Goes short. Godfrey. Good hands.
Very good mark out in front, but the nerves for Nathan Brown early on, that'll certainly help his cause.
Poor kick by Godfrey. It was a good mark. And cut off there by Tuck. And Tuck to Rains, and there's a whole heap of Melbourne players there. And White takes it. It's handball to Bruce. It's a good year, Bruce. Probably leading in the best and fairest if you stop right now. Here's Bate. Another key player again tonight inside the 50. And Robbo has started as he left off on Queen's birthday when he kicked 7 against the Magpies. He's just a bit too far out. So a centering kick. Johnson slow to get there, and it wasn't a particularly good option in the end. And Patterson to Bowden, who has to backtrack to Patterson.
Patterson then creeps up towards half back, releases Cracker. Cracker goes just beyond the wing, and the mark is held by Tambling. Saw that Ward was on his knees and took off. He scuttles down towards half forward and pinpoints it to Brown once more.
Looks sharp at the moment, Brown.
He does. His second kick just inside the 50. Throwing himself at this one is Pettifer, and he manages to hang on.
Well, Bell's got the job on Brown, and he's been in good form of late, Bell, but gee, Brown, hasn't he looked impressive so far?
Richo. Pettifer waited, and Richo eventually created some space.
Just a couple of matchups. Dennis Richo is being picked up by Ben Holland. He'll have a big job tonight. Aaron Davies started on the bench. He's now come onto the ground, and Godfrey has come off. And Thursfield will pick up Russell Robinson. He's got a big job also this evening.
Talking about Brown getting an early touch, and good for his confidence. What about an accurate kick here?
Yeah, very, very important kick.
Matthew Richardson. 26 goals on the season, steps inside the 50, likes it off the boot. No. Well, he was set. He moved into celebration mode, then had to call it off. Called the jam off at the last minute. Those familiar with the roller game? Umpire James making the point.
He was in perfect position then too, just outside the ground.
Patterson cut off by Bell. It was a good idea by Patterson. And now Foley, very short. Tivendale. Now he's a chance from here, and it's coming back. He's a really good chance, isn't he? A goal.
You sometimes forget when they've been out of the game so long how good and how important they are to a team, and I think Nathan Brown's just confirming that he's back. and he's not finished yet.
Carroll got it from Bizzle. High ball. 2-on-1 situation for the Tigers. And the last man in the queue, the third mouse, gets the cheese. That's Thursfield. Gets a hand pass across to Cracker in the back pocket. Cracker in the side tonight after a couple of last-minute withdrawals. This is King. King kicks it just shy of the wing. Richardson a long way up the ground. Plays on immediately. A little untidy. It bounces between Bowden and Cracker. They work a little 1-2. In fact, it had to be a 3 eventually. Went back to Rains, who kicks to midfield. Mark is taken by Jackson. Jackson kicks down to Tivendale. Good to see him back. Tivendale, beautiful kick. His last quarter in the draw against Brisbane, I thought, was quite outstanding. Deledio spots a man loose. Guess who? Brown. Bell needs to put a bell on Brown.
Well, they need to have a change here. The Demons is going to give it off.
Pettifer. Terrible by Melbourne. Goal umpire didn't move. That fooled everybody. Brad Green in career best form. Bowden to himself.
Gee, that was too easy. No one in defensive 50 for the Demons. They just got caught.
Virtually ran 50 metres, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's Newman
and
on
again.
the wing. Similar situation, exactly. Inside the forward 50 with a couple of runs, 2 kicks, and Brown. And Ward, who seems to have gone to him, claiming he was pushed in the back, but
What a start.
nothing doing.
What a start for a bloke that hasn't played for such a long time. Well, the change has been made. Bell's off, him being picked up by Ward. That's probably for the pace factor.
Brown comes in and...
It's one of 3 teenagers out there for the Demons, Jones. He's an impressive player. Melbourne now starting to find its stride against the front-running Tigers tonight. Sylvia. Ball still to be won. Polak did well. To King, to Johnson. Johnson held it up okay. Got to White. Now there's a whistle. There's a free kick.
No, he's wrapped him up early, Clint. Here.
Well, Pettifer quickly on. I think it's Hyde who's broken loose.
That was bad defending by the Demons. They had plenty of time to get back, Bruce. And they were watching, staring, and not bothering to move towards the player.
Well, it's been one of those quarters. I noticed Carroll's on the interchange. Now, he's played almost 100% of every match this year, so obviously the matchup not right for Carroll.
Well, what Wallace is trying to do, he's trying to unsettle the Demons' defence. He's got Wheatley and Bizzle and Carroll all playing on smaller forwards.
It's normally a pretty good kick Hyde for goal, and that's an easy one for him. The Tigers get their 4th.
So he's gone a little bit smaller. He's got Richo down in the forward line. The plan for Wallace too was to have Nathan Brown 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. When a player starts that well, what do you do? And that's the big decision that the coach has to make, whether and when he is going to bring Brown back onto the interchange. But gee, they're just so tight. They're so good in close at the moment, the Tigers, the Demons. Every time the ball goes forward, they're under enormous pressure. Once again, they've got a loose player, but this time it's inside their attacking 50.
Chris Hyde, 8 goals for the season. And the Tigers, plenty of football so far. Playing with great energy. Missing it completely there was Johnson. Taken by Polak. Kicks it down towards half forward. Into the action again, Hyde. Can he kick 2 with 2 kicks? You bet he can.
Hung in the air a long time.
Tuck at the back. High ball to full forward. Johnson underneath it. Oh, good contest here from Johnson for Richmond, I should say. Jackson and Davey back to Howard. Howard concedes a bit. Back to Foley. Pressure. Bowden squeezes at the centre half forward.
They compete about 35 metres out. Melbourne got a fist on it. Hyde, they got the crumb to Foley. Just pops it over the top, and Deledio takes the mark.
Haven't got the right matchup for Deledio at the moment. Not sure if Godfrey should be going into the goal square with him. Matthew Whelan's probably the right matchup if he does go down there, but he's not out there this evening. Ward's got trouble with Brown. Bell's been beaten early. The Richmond forwards have just confused the Demon defence, and their just matchups are not working.
Brett Delidio has started well, 6 possessions tonight. His career high 26 against Hawthorn. He's on pace to better that. Important kick too. Richmond stretch their lead. Got to do better from there, which reminds me, Chris Tarrant's accuracy. I mean, that's an interesting story. We'll touch on that at half-time. How could you find him guilty of mooning a particular person? Here's Bell. Short one. And the mark is taken here by White.
What day of the week did you actually think of that?
We discussed that last night on the news, actually. Basil and my good self.
Robertson, just too easy for Thursfield. There was a big miss by Richo a moment ago. Back to Patterson from
Look at him
Bowden.
queuing up in the centre.
And we're into that clay bit, and I reckon Melbourne are playing. It's a free kick.
Put your arms around him and put him going footy.
So free kick to Johnson. I'm not sure if this is a great advantage to Richmond because they're in a marking position deeper forward. Tivendale going, therefore there's the free kick. Richardson hopefully getting on the end of it. But Melbourne are playing like a team that have got clay feet right now. They are so slow.
Oh, they are.
They are slow down back. They are slow up forward, and they're slow through the midfield.
And through their minds at the moment.
Well, can the captain put a nail in the coffin early days in this match? Good kick. That's how you do it, Richo. Straight through the middle.
Like King a lot. From his first game, he's been impressive. Didn't take him long to settle in. Slapped down by Patterson, stolen away by Jones on the 50. He's claimed from behind. He's holding the ball. Advantages paid. Foley is away, a couple of bounces. He sizzles through midfield, settles. Closing on him is Godfrey. Foley kicks long down towards full forward. Richo must get a free. Ben Holland really in no man's land going back there. And we saw him on the wing moments ago, turned inside out by Matthew Richardson. That's a blatant free kick.
Big kick, this one.
How many times have we said that tonight? Richo comes in, kicks, goal umpire goes a long way. It's a goal.
Don't go forward. Move it on.
The ball's getting in there a fair bit at the moment. And you must feel like you're a bit under siege. So Bell to Ward, looking for a spark, looking for some run. Jones. Well, he felt pressure there that there wasn't in the end, but he banged it onto the boot. Green out wide. Makes it sit up for him. And then Green inside the 50 to Robbo. Not quite well done, Thursfield. That's a victory.
Well, let's have a look at this because Holland coming right towards. Yes, nice work. 28 minutes since the Demons have scored a goal.
Wide over the top. And look away, handball was good. And Foley's away.
He's doing some running and bouncing tonight. He's been very destructive through the centre square. Looks for Richardson. And Richardson is going to get a free kick for a chop.
No. I'm not sure about this one, Dennis.
I think the ball was coming out long before the chop.
Not sure about this one, Dennis.
Yeah, that ball was on the way out. He wasn't going to mark that in any case.
Changing caddies too. Holland off. And Carroll picking him up.
Here comes Richardson on the 50.
On the 50.
Kick the goal.
Thanks, Billy.
Be kicking from just outside the 50. He's timed it pretty well. It's a good-looking kick. And just drifting at the end for a poster.
Hey, one out.
Richo kicks the other two. That one goes through. Melbourne are dead and buried. They've still got a sniff.
Here's Carroll. Seems to be okay now. To the outer side, Pickett. Rarely sighted. Shaved and sort of tapered. Drives it down towards the pocket. Up in front, Sylvia. At the back, Bate running out of space. Did brilliantly. Kept it alive. Goes with the outside of the boot. It's still a live ball. Holland did well. Oh, he cocked one there. Down he went. Taken by Bowden, slips it forward. Johnson, the look away hand pass to White. White goes up towards the wing. Pettifer worked his man under the ball. Jackson, who's been a live wire, slung. Advantage will be paid. Pettifer's got the ball. Pulls it back towards the middle. Deledio, nobody near him. Goes in, lines up and kicks a goal.
Well, the #1 draft pick, he's played 55 games, just 20 years of age, and he's getting better. Neil Danaher, this is an absolute nightmare, this first half. Richmond's biggest first half score for the season.
Oh, Chris Hyde, arms around him.
Previously, it was in round 1 against Carlton. They've gone, absolutely, Ox, they're everything.
Yep.
I can't wait for your top 4. Hyde goes bang to full forward, and Bizzle takes the mark. If you squeeze a Melbourne player into your top 4, Ox, I'm going to give you away.
No, well, I certainly won't be doing that.
Here's White. Short to Jones.
Well, there hasn't been a standout Melbourne player at all.
So Jones out wide. Looking for Ward. King outnumbered. Sylvia, who's had a very quiet opening half. He's at half back. He's kicked down the line, and did he find the line? Yep, it's out on the full.
Neil Danaher should take them in at half-time and just absolutely give them a bake. Only a quick one, and then get them into their groups, forwards, mids and backs, and say, right, we've got structures, we've got a game plan, got to get back to it.
I think it's confession time.
Going back with courage down there was White. The ball close to the boundary line. Howard did well, knocks it to Pettifer, but it was across the boundary line.
Thanks, mate. Go through, mate.
What about your top 4?
All black and yellow. Foley, Polak, Tuck and King. Well, Foley just in the middle of the ground, same as Tuck, and King and Polak, the two prime movers down back.
And Foley become a good player. 13 possessions so far. Averaging 25 a game this season. A high of 31 against the Bulldogs in round 4.
Most improved player in the competition, Dennis.
No doubt. He's terrific. It's the way he does it.
Yep.
Brings so much energy to the Tigers through the bad times, and tonight the good. Patterson hooks it down towards full forward. Going back with courage down there was Bell. Angles it back across the line. He is the worse for wear. Corky, I think, as the ball comes in, and Pickett has it.
Byron's had a slow start to this match. He's comeback game. Thought he might come out firing here. Rains over Bate, and Polak again. Good decision making to Tuck, who's been important, and the loose man created here, and it's Jackson. So Jackson from 55. Richo, hands in the back.
Hands in the back. 2 hands in the back, mate.
Richo says, I've been here before, haven't I? Under slightly different circumstances. Here's one for you, Ox. Melbourne's lowest half-time score this millennium is 20 points against Sydney a few seasons back. They're sitting on 16, and they're stuck on 16 at the moment. Bruce just throws it to Carroll, and Carroll goes down to centre wing. Congested footy. Tivendale, who's done very well.
Hyde, who kicked a couple of goals in the space of a minute, telling goals too, has a bounce 70 metres out Bacon Square. This could run on. No! Richardson stretched. I thought for a moment it was going to clear both he and his marker. He got back to take the mark and goes in short to Pettifer. Well, it's an absolute rout at the present time.
Richo, he's missed a couple of shots, so he thought, just lay it off. It is a little bit tight. I'm a little bit close. In fact, I'm probably 30 metres too close. And he gave it to Pettifer, who, he's not a bad shot on goal.
Standing right next to him.
Marks inside 50, 14-1, 2 back-to-back right there. The second of them taken by Pettifer, who comes in and kicks yet another goal. It's their 11th.
It is an extraordinary half-time scoreboard, isn't it? Terry Wallace, well, they've been in front 4 times this year and they haven't won a game, Richmond. But they haven't been in front like this. I reckon Terry's smiling deep down. Jones out of the centre. Kicks to centre half forward. Can they get a goal? Can something be salvaged from a wreck? Because right now the Titanic's looking good. Cracker.
Oh, they're away here again.
It's just all happening. Tuck Strolls in so easily and scores another one. I'm going to ask you, are there two teams out there tonight? Because right now we're only seeing one.
Worst performance, I think, by a side in a half of football this year, maybe in the last couple of years.
In 100 years.
Yeah, this has been, I don't know about 100, I don't know about 100, Bruce, but
In the history of humans.
I just had Millennium on my mind.
no, it's been a woeful.
They are playing the bottom team. They are playing the bottom team.
Yeah.
What about Bell's effort to tackle as he came up there? We mentioned a couple of moments ago he may have got a corky. Well, it looked that way. As an old coach of mine would say, he's got a impediment. Coming through the middle.
Again.
Yes, here's a chance for Hyde. Pops it up. There's the siren. Blessed relief for Melbourne. Half time at the MCG on Friday Night Football. And Richmond supporters are on their feet. He gave them cause to celebrate early, Nathan Brown, and it's been a procession ever since. 12-8-80 to 2-4-16. Matthew Richardson has punished Melbourne before. 16 marks against the Demons in round 8 2003. That time only 4 goals. But he's done well historically against the Demons, starting the night 51 goals in 17 games against them. Lots of easy misses tonight. Rains, high ball. Richardson goes back and takes the chest mark 52 metres out. Will he chance his arm from here? Wheels around Bacon Square. And what's he done? Oh, was that across the line? Very tight. Brown's taken the mark, and the umpire, both of them, had a good angle on that one. Brown runs around, snaps, and that's the goal they needed. That's the settler.
In this term, and suddenly the next goal gets to be pretty interesting. McDonald and Bate back to McDonald, and they couldn't win the ball out of the centre at all in the first half, and now they can't do anything but as Godfrey goes to a big pack. Arms everywhere. Richardson, Thursfield has been good. Deledio measures the handball over the top to Hughes. Melbourne looking for a free kick, not on. Foley, that ball nearly got away from him. Here's a chance. Here's a chance to make them hurt. Polak goes to centre half forward and misses the target. Richardson, well done, Cal. Sure. Kept out of his back. Richo played for it and it wasn't there.
Yeah, this was very, very careful.
Wasn't that a wonderful tackle?
Yeah, he had every right to fall right into his back.
Here's a chance for Deledio, though, after the bounce. Foley, as cool as you like. Tivendale can punish the Demons here. Goes in and gets it. Bowden on the outer side, the defensive side of the wing, looking down towards half forward. Pettifer comes hard. He's got it now. Richardson peels off. It goes in that direction. He's got separation, Richardson, and he takes the mark.
Just put it out in front. Big Richo very hard to stop on the lead. Doesn't look confident.
So the roller coaster ride begins, and Carroll was just daydreaming on the mark, and Richo kicks a goal. Well, Carroll needs a coin. He was marking his spot. He needs to take something from Tiger Woods.
So that's been a long stretch, hasn't it? We're getting up towards the year since they last won a match.
A lot of sleeps.
Tuck stood up in the tackle, Tambling back to Tuck under pressure. Clever kick. Tivendale 70 metres from goal now. He generally uses the ball well, and that's no exception. He's got his critics, but he's one of the better kicks in the Tiger team. The only problem is when he lines up at goal sometimes, he's not the best kick in the world. This is Brown.
Well, he's on his favoured side here, Brown. What a beautiful kick that was. Thought the players led to the wrong side then for Tivendale. They should have gone to the fat side, but Brown found a bit of space. What a return he's had.
Perfect comeback, particularly if he notches this one. Going at his third, the angle is right for him, and he pops it right through the middle. Fairy tale stuff. Back in style, 3 goals, and he set the tone early.
Jackson back inside to Rains. And then Rains kicks inside the 50. Brown a target. He did well there, Brown, and gets a second crack. Well done by Godfrey. Hyde did a bit of steeplechasing there. And then Johnson, Tambling, was searching for a free. It didn't come. Wheatley held up. Is he in trouble?
Has to be.
Must try and get rid of that. One arm free. Just holding it in like this. One arm got there. What's the other arm doing?
Hammerlock.
Must try and get
It was a hammerlock, Your Honour.
So Petter for the recipient.
Well, the play did ask.
That's a submission hold.
What do you do when you got one arm pinned? He said, well, you've got the other one free.
So Pettifer, a couple of goals tonight. He got one after Brown set him up in the first quarter. Got another one after Richo set him up in the second quarter. And here from a free kick, he kicks his third and celebrates.
Pollock has been terrific. Has had most of the ball on the ground tonight. Delidio got it from Foley to Bowden. And if you look at Fremantle's record, they're almost like a drive-through for all Australians. White, Clement, Crode, McPhee all became all Australians after they left. Simmons went very close last year. And who knows, Pollock this year. And I think Fremantle have only had the one themselves. Taken on the outer side by Brown. Kicks towards the kickoff line. Richardson, with nonchalant ease, gives it to Tivendale. That's not a bad result all round.
They did a great chase a moment ago by Newman. Quite in terms of numbers, but doing a job as Johnson belts it forward and then Carroll over the back. Tigers with a bit to look forward to right now. They had a dozen players out there tonight, 21 or under. And they had 12 players who hadn't played 50 games out there this evening. Melbourne, by the way, had 9 blokes that have played over 150.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're excited. They've got a good young group.
Right there. Thanks, Jagger.
Well, it's a big win. It's been a long time coming. It's been hard earned.
Well done, Tigers.
Well, it's been 300 days since I've heard the song, and it's been more than that since Nathan Brown played a match. And what a match Ricky played tonight.
Yeah, he had a great night, Nathan. And welcome back to AFL footy.
Yeah, it was great to be out here Friday night footy. Couldn't ask for anything better. The boys are fantastic tonight. It was a sign of things to come, hopefully.
It must have been a relief for you to get through.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I had a few nerves. Haven't played for so long, I think 11 months. So good to get out there, get a couple of touches early. I certainly blew up in the second and third quarters, but last quarter was okay, and just looking forward to singing the song.
And obviously your fitness was down, but how was the leg?
Yeah, leg felt great. It's been good for about a month now. Touch wood, hopefully it stays like that. Get some fitness over the next couple of weeks and have a good second half of the year.
It's great to see you back out here. Got your brownie time, mate.
Matthew Richardson celebrating with his teammates. What a remarkable game he played.
Hard to assess, isn't it, Dennis? I mean,
He's like a flawed genius, isn't he?
he certainly got a lot of stats in the last quarter, and it's impossible to ignore his contribution tonight, but at times it was a wasteful night, but at other times it was just pure Richo, which you love.
Just Richo being Richo, Bruce.
Hey!